No, I ain't trip.
Welcome back to Just Running It, the Love Is Review edition of episode 3, right? Yeah, episode 3. Um, I'm Ken, and we got the queen in here again tonight. Star, how's it going? How's it going today?
Everything's going good. Excited
Oh, my
about
light gone.
this review.
Okay, so my light just went out. I think the battery did, so y'all got to see me look olive. That's what you said, olive, right?
Yes, Olive.
Yeah, but before we get into it, man, I definitely gotta say, watching episode 3 made me realize how much I really didn't like Yazir as the episodes went forward in this season or in this series. I did not like him, and I'm starting to realize it. So let's talk about it. You ready? You ready? You ready? Let's
I'm
go.
ready.
Let's
I'm
go. Let's
ready.
talk
I'm
about it.
ready.
Let's talk about it.
So, when episode 3 opens up, they begin talking about like the cocoon phase and things like that, like when you're kind of like all into one another and things are really heating up between the two people in the relationship. And so we see this opening scene where Nuri and Yasir are at Nuri's house for the first time. And they like, of course, it's still Ramadan, so it's some things he's not supposed to be doing, but they rolling around on the floor, things getting hot and heavy.
All right.
And it stops just shy of them doing anything they shouldn't have been doing at that moment, right? And Yuri brings up
Not go ahead.
based on Ramadan, they shouldn't have been doing what
based
they
on
were
Ramadan. Based on Ramadan.
right. So Nuri basically, alludes to the fact that she's kind of happy that things stopped short of them doing anything because she only has a desire to sleep with her husband under that roof. So my first question to you is, what do you feel about like the rules of engagement in relationships, like the 30, 60, 90-day rule? And I'll ask you that because I dated somebody before that midways into the relationship, I was like, you know what? I won't have sex no more until I get married. And he was like, you might not want to, but that ain't gonna stop me from going out here doing what I'm gonna do. So needless to say, that was that on that. But yeah.
I'm not gonna even. I'm not gonna even elaborate on that part because I could have some stuff to say about that part. But my opinion about the 30, 60, 90-day rule, man. I think it's. I don't know. I think it's bullshit. Really, like this is why I think so. Now, if I think the 30, 60, 90-day rule is bullshit simply because patient people could wait for deadlines, right?
Right.
Now, if it was another reason, like maybe some kind of spiritual reason or something like that, that's different. But or the fact that you're celibate and that's it, like, and I knew that walking in, I get that. But to tell me I gotta wait a certain amount of time, I just don't. I personally just don't agree with it. I'll follow it if I have to. Like I said, patient people could wait, but I don't. I really don't believe in it personally. But I'm not a woman, so y'all have y'all reasons. Maybe you could tell me what yours. What your
I'll say
reasoning would
this.
be.
I'll say this. I agree with you to an extent. It's kind of 50-50 with me. Because I've heard guys say, one of my close friends recently told me, he was like, if a girl sleeps with him, and he's like, we are almost 40 at this point. He said if a woman sleeps with him too easy, he holds it against her because he feels like she's probably easy like that for everybody. I personally told him, not all women are like that. Sometimes it's something about a specific guy, but of course, we have double standards when it comes to dating and stuff like that. For me personally,
Absolutely.
I don't think it's BS, but I feel like I can agree with you when you say some people will hold out. Let me tell you, I know some people that done waited 5-6 years to get back on some stuff. I'm telling you, people are patient when it's something that they want. or it's
Yeah.
something they
Yeah.
trying to prove. So I agree with you on that 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh. Yeah. That's all I could say. That's all I could say to that. Yeah.
Okay, so
Because it can go too long. So let's definitely move on because
well,
that could be
we
a
might have to have
conversation
a
within
part.
itself.
We might have to have a part two to this one,
Yeah.
or a
Yeah.
sidebar
A
conversation.
sidebar. Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I wanted to ask you about like deal breakers in relationships, because like when she went outside, like so it comes to a point where you see her, she kind of asked him to leave, not being rude or disrespectful, but she's like, I got to get up and go to work in the morning. He goes outside, his car won't start. Mind you, she still don't know he broke and homeless.
All right.
Um, and she eventually comes outside and she thinks he's just still sitting there because he don't want to leave. So I was wondering in that moment, do you think that his car not starting was a gift or a curse for him?
Uh. It depends on how you look at it. I
Because it
it
later on opened up some other things, but in that moment,
I think it was I think it was in that moment it was a gift.
okay.
But it turned into something totally different, and we gonna
Later
get
in
to
the
that. But yeah, later in the episode and turn. But so I would say it was a gift at that moment. It was something that he wanted, something that she wanted. One thing that I like about him though is that he doesn't change who he is. It's like he is a gift and a curse within himself. You feel what I'm saying?
right.
Like so I yeah, I think in that moment, yeah, it was a
It
gift
was
because he got to go back in. Yeah.
so I'm gonna say this part. When she didn't want to touch his hand that he uses to smoke the cigarettes, and she
Mm-hmm.
was like, don't grab me with that hand. And then she was like, he threw the cigarette down. She's like, I don't date litter bugs. And then he did something else, and then they're going in. I want to ask you personally, what is your biggest turn off or biggest deal breaker when it comes to relationships?
Ooh, we should have had some prepped up stuff so I could have thought about this before.
You want me to go first?
Uh, yeah, you go first on this one.
I think I have two, but I'm gonna tell you which one outweighs.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of cigarette smoke.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
I'm not opposed to people who do it, but I
Mm-hmm.
personally I don't like it.
Okay.
But my biggest deal breaker is like if I'm dating a guy with kids and he is
Mm-hmm.
not active in his kid's life on his own accord,
All right.
I'm not.
That's
That's it for me. Like that's the deal breaker for me. If you
okay.
are a absent father
Mm-hmm.
on your own accord, I'm done. I don't want no parts.
Um, my deal breaker. Nagging.
Well,
like
you don't know who you want to be with it. Most
like
women
extreme. So that's why I don't know. That's why I can't call it a deal breaker.
right,
It's just something I don't like. But
like a pet
deal
peeve, like
breaker.
just like
Yeah, this is like a pit peeve. A deal breaker. I really don't know because I've learned that you will accept certain things from some people that you won't accept from other people. So that's kind of hard for me. Like
I agree.
if a like one deal breaker. Okay, I can't say one deal breaker is if I can't have a conversation with you. It don't have to be super intellectual. I just have to be able to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's my deal breaker, and it happened to me before. And I'm not setting up no locations, no times, no dates, or nothing because I don't want nobody seeing this and know what I'm talking about. But we were having a conversation. It was a group conversation. It was two men and two women, so you can kind of figure out that whole scenario, right? And we were talking, and we started to get a little bit deeper. Not necessarily like super intellectual, but just just a little something. Probably I say probably about 11th, 12th grade. Like not too deep. So one of the guys said something or asked a question, and she asked her a question, and she hesitated, and I saw in her eyes that she did not understand the word that he used. Now, granted, that word was not if it was a difficult word, I get it because I might not have known it myself.
Right.
But this word was not super difficult. Like, this was 11th, 12th grade. So I had to butt in to kind of save her.
Right.
I had to jump into the conversation to save her because I didn't want her to feel, feel some kind of way, embarrassed and all of that. But right. I think that was definitely a deal breaker for me. And I think that's pretty much, that's something that I have to think about. That's a tough one because like I said, I've noticed that I'll take certain things from some people that I just won't take from other people.
Well, I ain't taking,
but those two, okay, nobody. Yeah. I'll say that. That'll be one too. Like I can't deal with somebody that's not taking care of their child. And I know I guess people believe that all women do that, but I'm sure that that's not the case statistically.
Right.
But if that came up, then that's a deal breaker for sure.
Okay. So let's jump to this next scene where like he spent the night. Next morning they wake up. They're in the kitchen. She's eating a little breakfast. And this answering machine starts ringing, right?
Yes, it did.
So she like not gonna get up and answer it. She's just engaged in a conversation with Yasir. So the first time the answering machine picks up, now again, this in the 90s, so it ain't no you press the button on your phone. It's the answer machine talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Keith. And he talking about this ski trip.
Right.
And I'm going to circle back to Keith and that ski trip in just a minute.
Okay.
But the phone rings again. And after the first time, you see her, he kind of like, okay. And she kind of was like, oh, that's nothing. It means nothing.
Right.
Phone ring again and the answer machine pick up. This time, it's the college boyfriend, Derek, who ain't answered her calls in a week. He, trying to say, he miss her, whatever. And Yasir kind of looking like, then the phone get ready to ring again. So my question is, when Yasir kind of asked Nuri, he was like, how many are there? And she was like, only you. First of all, that was a role reversal because that's some stuff that dudes be telling chicks like.
Oh, you think? This is what AO and I talk about this all the time, man. We are all the same. Regardless, we are all the same for the most part. Now, granted, women may be a little bit more emotional depending on the man. And men are normally a little bit more logical depending on the woman. So, but for the most part, man, we one and the same. We do the same stuff. It's just done a little bit differently. And when it's done by y'all, it catches us off guard.
So should she have told him ahead of time, like how I got on him, like he should have told her a little bit more about his background? Should she have told him that she was seeing other people? Or do you think as long as they aren't having sex or at the point of sex, she doesn't have to disclose who else she's dealing with?
No, I think she should. The moment that he laid his body inside that bed and stayed the night, whether they had sex or not, she is required at that moment to tell him who she's dealing with, because he is in her sanctuary, and anybody could pop over there.
And so people are crazy.
And so it'll be good for him to know what's going on in your life. Now, you don't have to be super detailed, but at least give me give me a little bit of information so I can be aware if something do pop off. I'm not standing there looking crazy. And I can make that decision if I still want to come over there. So yeah, I think she should have told him who she's dealing with. Or and like I said, not specifically tell him, but she definitely should have told him. Yeah.
So immediately after that, or like in between that time, they start discussing this whole ski trip conversation, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they kind of go back to that ski trip conversation, and he says, "Go ahead and go." He knew he ain't want her to go. She knew he ain't want her to go, but he kept saying, "Go, go, go, go." Luckily, she said no. Now, my first issue with the conversation about the ski trip was this: why do men or women tell their significant other do stuff that they don't want them to do? You testing their temperature, and some people gonna call your bluff. So if you don't want them to do it, why not just say it up front?
Yeah. I absolutely agree with you on that.
You playing a game and you gonna end up with egg on your face because
Egg on
you
your face.
already don't. It's gonna cause unnecessary frustration that don't even have to exist.
All right, and then I think it branches out into this is what I've been doing a lot lately is trying to, and then we had a conversation about this. It wasn't specific to this right here, but it's kind of like how if you act one way in your life, it's gonna trickle over to other areas of your life. And I think that's like, even in that case with him telling her, "Hey, you can go," when he know he didn't really want her to go, it's the same thing that can eventually have him not telling her exactly how he feels about a lot of different things. It could be him really being honest about how he feels from his heart, even though he was aggressively saying it at the beginning. That's too fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's way too fresh. And so some things can change, and then he's afraid, or he won't be totally honest about how he feels. I think all of that trickles down to every other area. So if you just honest about how you feel, period, I feel like you won't run into no issues because that person will know. And then you let that person make whatever decisions they feel like they need to make based off of what you're telling them. But I feel like being honest, man. I personally don't want to deal with lying because it's gonna come back, and I just don't feel like dealing with it. I don't feel like dealing with the nervousness and the pressures of did I lie, or
What
did
did
she
I say the
find?
first
Yeah,
time?
yeah. Like did she find out something? I'll get a text or something like, we need to talk, and now I'm thinking about, oh shit, like, what did you know what I'm saying? So man, that rain kicking butt out there in the A, right?
Like, let me
Ah.
tell you, like that thunder and lightning. I'm like, the people on the podcast gonna be like, "What y'all got going on? Like, y'all got a whole film studio back there with sound effects." But
That's funny.
this is another thing. Like, you and AO discussed
Okay,
in
I
our
already know where you're
previous
going.
podcast about ultimately women shouldn't take vacations or go on vacations with men if you don't plan on having sex with the man. You know, I made a video responding to it on how I feel.
Yeah. Yes.
That's why I do my own thing and go by myself. But
Yeah.
Yasir talks to Nuri, excuse me, about the ski trip, and he's like, "You think that man gonna spend all that money on you to fly you somewhere cold and not want to have sex with you or not have sex?" And she was like, "Nothing's gonna happen if I don't want it to happen."
Facts. That's true.
True in some instances. Some men
Oh, well,
don't take, whatever.
okay.
That's
Yeah,
another
we're not.
topic.
Yeah.
But so can you tell the viewers, if they missed that podcast with you and AO, what the perspective was about the expectations on vacation?
I
If a
feel
man
like
invites
I feel like if a man invites you on vacation, should sex be not necessarily required, but there's going to be pressure. Like, a man isn't, listen, especially if he's even remotely attracted to you. You gotta think about the setup, right? Now, if he told you, "Hey, I don't care if he told you, hey, you can have your space and I'll have my space. He may walk into it with the idea of, man, I ain't even trying that. But you just don't know. That's why I said like the pressures of it. So if you're not, just like she said, I don't have to. Of course, you guys don't have to, and it'll be a trip that the guy just gotta swallow, and he just gonna go back home, and y'all gonna go back, and he ain't got nothing. And he gonna be planning for the next one to see if he have the next time. But this time he gonna put in way more work, especially if he's interested in you. He's gonna put in way more work to make it just that much easier next time. But it's inevitable, man. Isn't it? It is. And
I've turned down a lot of trust me. Or I'll go into it with like, I got my own money. And one of my partners was like, you know you good with like what's good? Like, you know I'm like, no. If it's some platonic stuff, let me go ahead and pay for let me pay for my own stuff. I don't want no crazy ideas about what's gonna happen. I got my own money.
But I don't even think it's like, I don't even think like it's about like spending money. I don't think it's the spending money thing that men like. Well, I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself. I don't think that it's the amount of money. It's like, okay, well, I done went and spent this money, so I know I'm getting. It ain't that, because I've gone on trips and I've taken people on trips and nothing has happened. So it's not the money thing. I wouldn't personally. I'll feel the same exact way if she paid her way and she just hanging out. We on vacation together and she paid her way. I still feel the same way. It's like, I'm just being honest. It's not the. I think that's the bad part. I think that's the bad part of it, because it's like, we spend all this money, y'all better come off it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it ain't the money. It's not the money at all. It's not. It's just being away with somebody that you're attracted to, that y'all vibed out. He's going to want it. He may not say it. He may be super respectful, but he's going to want it, and he's going to be over there praying that you had too many shots.
So pay your own way. No, don't drink.
Don't drink. Pay your own.
Vacations.
Don't pay your own way. Don't drink. Oh, or just be straight up at the beginning. Like, yo, look, I'm gone, but look, I'm telling you right now, ain't nothing shaking. Be straight up. And then I personally could respect that more, because I'm like, okay, well, I'm going down there. I already know ain't popping, so I don't got to deal with the pressures of the little voices in my head. Like, should I try? Should I not? You know what I'm saying? So just be straight up. Be straight up and be like, look, you know, I'm not saying that you want this, but I don't think we at that point yet. If you're gonna go, but if you don't do that and you're not ready to go there, then don't go. Period. Don't go.
And that's why I don't, good people.
Okay. All right. Cool. Just wanted to.
So let's jump to this scene where he's like, he keeps calling his homeboy. He's trying to get like the gym card, the AAA card, all of this. His car broke down. He had to push it down the street. And before I get to that part, let me jump to a further part in the show. When he pushed that car down that street, and that nosy neighbor looks in that car, I want to address this before I get back to this other scene.
Okay.
How do you feel about women that Google people? Because I'm going to tell you this. My friends can tell you. All I need is 1 to 2 pieces of information, and I can find out your whole life story.
Bro, let me tell you something.
But I got friends that are like, I'll find out when I find out. And I'm like, and that's why you found that out the hard way.
Let me tell you something. I got a text one time. Was like, why you ain't tell me this? Why you ain't tell me you used to be married? Why? I'm like, I never was married. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I never was married. I found you online and I found all of this information on you, and I was like, man, shoot me a screenshot or something. Bro, they had, some of the information was right, but a lot of it was wrong. They had family members that I I don't know these people. You feel what I'm saying? And I mean, I guess I can say why I said I was married, because I did fill out an apartment application years ago. and said, and said that we was married so that they didn't have to use her income, or her because I don't think she had a job at the time, so they didn't have to use that. Because if you go in and you're not married, both people that occupy the place they gotta go through separate processes or whatever.
Okay.
So I think I may have done that. So that's probably the only reason why I said that. But yeah, y'all be wrong, be searching, and be
Oh
wrong as hell a lot of
no.
time.
I be right every time. Trust me, I be right. Send me on a mission, and I guarantee you it's gonna come back valid.
So I hate to get off topic really quick, but I was watching something today. I don't know if I was watching it or whatever, but I kept on hearing things about like women's intuition and women know this because of their intuition. But I thought about it. Do you believe in women's intuition?
I absolutely believe in women's intuition, but one time I was wrong. One time I was wrong, and I'm just going to speed track this real quick.
Right.
The one time I was wrong, I had been friends with somebody for 6 years, had been out to their state. We had nothing ever happened like that between us, but we had hung out, like did all kind of stuff, and had been really close friends, like spoke every day. I get a call when I'm at work one day. Now, we have been friends 6 years. We talk all day, all night, every day, all the time, FaceTime, video chat, at work, at home. I get a call from somebody saying it was his wife. I did my Google search, and I found the marriage certificate. The dates lined up. She wasn't lying. So that one time I was wrong. Like, I knew something felt off. But that was the one time that I was wrong, and I didn't know. Thankfully, nothing never happened with that person, but I haven't spoken to him since that day.
So you know what? I don't believe in women's intuition. I think women's intuition is the lack of trust.
Here we go.
I think that women's intuition is the lack of trust. I believe that y'all get it right sometimes, but if women's intuition was a thing, then it would be 100% batting average. I feel like I feel like if somebody gives you signs, I feel like if they're giving you, is that thunder out there? Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if somebody kind of give y'all things to question, you know what I'm saying, then that's when it's gonna start to kind of roam in your head and be like, what's going on? It's just a lack of trust.
So you think it's the lack of trust and Blue's Clues, but it's nothing to do with intuition.
Exactly.
We're gonna move right past this conversation.
Okay, we can. That's just my opinion. I mean, that's what we have on here.
Are we gonna be boxing the next celebrity fight? I'm just joking.
Oh my god.
So I wanna talk about this. This is this is the meat and potatoes of this episode.
Okay.
When he goes to Ruby's house, he goes to Ruby's house looking for that AAA card. Ruby comes out the room in pain. We later find out that she has some type of cosmetic surgery done to her body.
Lipo.
Or lipo or something like that. She's in pain. She can barely move. And he makes the decision to stay there with her and help her.
Right.
He's searching for Nuri. He's like trying to call his friend, find the phone number, see how he could get in touch with her, because he was supposed to meet Nuri for dinner, I believe. Nuri's calling like hospitals, police stations, doing everything she could do to try to get to him. However, when she shows up and she's asking him questions because the nosy neighbor found the address, she goes over there. Do you think he was wrong for not answering Nuri's questions at that moment about why are you here? What is going on in your life? Are you using me as an scapegoat? Do you have this, that, and the other? Which is the questions I think she should have long asked at the beginning. So a couple of questions in there. A, do you think Nuri was wrong for popping up at Ruby's house? B, do you think he was wrong for not answering her questions in that moment and closing that door, telling her we'll discuss this later, and shutting that door in her face? Because I would have kicked that door down.
Okay. So, yes, she was very wrong for popping up because she knew who house that was. So she was very wrong for popping up there. He was very wrong for not sharing that he could have walked outside. He didn't have to stay inside. He could have walked outside. This is where men mess up. They try to protect too many hearts. You cannot protect everybody's heart if you're trying to be with one person.
Right.
That's where he messed up. He was already going to... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because he mentioned, he was torn between the woman he loved and the woman that needed him. So it kind of validates your point that he was trying to satisfy everybody at one time.
And it still didn't matter. I think how he went about it, I think he could have shared a little information, or he could have handled that a lot better. Like he could have said, look, this is what's going on here. I have to help her. I promise you I'm gonna come over as soon as I can and we're gonna talk about it. And because I wanna be detailed in my reasons for not telling you. And if I tell you right now, I really don't have enough time. I don't want her getting up and then it's becoming a big deal at her house. This is the only reason why I'm here.
So should he have stayed there with Ruby in the first place?
Yes.
Or should he have?
I think what he should have done was, I think it was a much better way of handling that. Like I said, I think what he should have done was made sure that he handled the situation. How do you forget the person you love number? That's a no-no right there. So that he couldn't even contact her and let her know what was going on. So whatever with that, things happen. He would just have to apologize and take that hit. I think, yes, he should have stayed there and helped her, because this is something that we spoke about on the podcast when we said just because you stop liking somebody don't mean you stop loving them. Right. And he still had love for her, and he wanted, and looking at her in that state, he would have been down bad to leave, especially when that woman allowed him to stay in that home even after they wasn't together anymore. Regardless of whatever she said or whatever she did to him, she still held him down when he needed it the most. So he had to do it at that moment. Now if he was just standing there because she wanted to hang out, that's different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's the reason behind it.
I feel like it would have been a hard decision either way. I agree with you. I guess the woman in me is like, but if that's the man I'm in love with, like, he gon' ditch me to go take care of the chick who basically put him out. But if I'm looking at it just from an overall perspective, it's like, if you ever had anything with somebody, why would you want to see them down bad? Even if whatever they're going through is self-inflicted. You know what I'm saying? Because she chose to do that because it was just something she was trying to do to help further her career. It wasn't like it was something it was more cosmetic than anything. So it wasn't like medically she had an issue and she had to get it resolved. It was something that she chose to do, but still, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's tough all the way around. I mean, but I think at the same time, whoever you dealing with, like, you really gotta have. This is my thing. When I'm walking into a situation, man, if I can't trust you, then I can't do it. And so I want to be able to trust you in that space. And sometimes it may be a good thing for you to be in that space, especially early on, because maybe you have some hidden feelings that you didn't know you still had. And you need to make sure that that stuff is going prior to us moving forward. So if that was the case, and especially if it was early in it, Like if it was early in it, then I would have been okay with if it was the roles were reversed. I would have been okay with it if it's early. Now, if this has been some time, that's different.
But
That's different.
the crazy part is most men I don't think would have been all right with even if it's early on. If I'm entertaining you or we're entertaining one another and we're supposed to be together and your ex-boyfriend got something going on and you going to go back over there and take care of him, I don't think
Well, it's
every
okay.
man is like you in that instance where they going to be understanding of that. It's going to kind of be like
It's circumstantial. Let's for example, if he is from the city and he has family, then nah, you ain't going over there. But if he's in this city by himself, he came out here with you. He don't have nobody else. Then that's that. I'll have to suck it up. If it's early on, I have to suck it up, and I have to trust what you telling me is true.
right.
And I think that's why we all have to be vulnerable, and we have to. And it's hard for me to say. The Lord knows I'm growing. I'm telling you, I'm growing. We really have to be vulnerable with our feelings, man, and just sell out and hope for the best. And that's the only way we're gonna truly be happy. So in that situation, like, I think I would have wanted to know what was real, and everything is gonna reveal itself anyway in due time.
Right.
So no, I don't think I would have had a problem with it in depending on the situation. But I don't know. I can't. It's hard to say when I'm not in it. Like,
Right.
I might, if I was head over heels in love like he is, then I may just have a problem with it.
Listen.
So who really knows? Who knows?
Listen, good people. That's that next level maturity. That's that grown up maturity.
Man,
Many of
that's
us
that.
have not climbed that mountain yet. Some of us
That's
just
that.
halfway up there.
Bro, that's that growth for real. That's that being by myself for a decade and learning who I am and really, really learning who I am. And it just kind of makes it easier to be more sympathetic toward other people. Like, because I don't think in that situation, like I said, I don't think I would have left her high and dry like that. So if I'll do it, then I need to be okay if the tables were turned and
Right.
you did it. Yeah. So that's it. I'm all right. I'm all right.
Well, I think episode 4 and 5 start picking up a little bit more.
Okay.
So these and on throughout the rest of the series. So my good people, y'all are in for a treat. Trust me.
Well, I'd have to sit here and watch the episodes 2 times. So you guys are lucky. All you gotta do is watch it once. I gotta watch them 2 times back to back. One day, one the next day. But I'm looking forward to watching episode 4. I'm looking forward to it picking up. Can't wait to get back on here and chop it up about 4. I know you about to go fast and furious your way to the movie theater.
Right.
Be careful in the rain, man. But we want to thank y'all for watching again. Be safe, man. Be safe out here and be peaceful. Knowing that you don't know is, I can't remember my saying, man. Knowing that you don't know is more powerful than being brilliant, man. Thank y'all for watching. Just running it.